A lot of people ask me how to use clawdbot securely and safely. The answer to this is kind of multi-layered, so I'm going to break it down in a bit more detail. So it's clawdbot or moltbot or openclaw, whatever you want to call it. So the first layer is where you are hosting it, where it is installed. First up, do not install it on your main computer. Do not give it access to all of your files, because if it decides it doesn't want those files around, it will get rid of them. That is why you've seen people recommending to get a Mac Mini, because that's a relatively cost-effective way to get a second computer. However, if you have a laptop lying around, just use that. Or use a VPS, a Docker container on your existing computer, a virtual machine, lots of different ways to do it, as long as it is isolated from your main computing system. That's the first level of security, is just making sure that the device it's on does not have access to your whole life. But that is not enough, so just buying a Mac Mini is not enough. The second layer is what you connect clawdbot to. If you've given it access to your email address, it doesn't matter what you've installed it on. It still has access to your email address and it can go buck wild with that if it wants to. Same with credit card details, same with your crypto account, etc. So that second level of security is thinking about what access you want to give it, what's safe to give it, and what is definitely not safe to give it. And then the third layer is when clawdbot sends messages in and out. Those ports that it uses are basically little doors where the information is going back and forward, and the ports for clawdbot are known. So some hackers, some malicious actors are sniffing ports, trying to intercept that data. Again, it doesn't really matter that much what you've got it set up on. If that traffic can be intercepted, it can potentially be read. And there's a fourth layer of insecurity if you connect your clawdbot to Moltbook, which is the new hotness this week. We just heard that a lot of API keys got stolen on Moltbook, and basically allowing your clawdbot unfettered access to this own environment to interact with other AI bots is asking for trouble. So the answer to, is this secure or how do I make it secure, is not that easy. There are multiple layers. First, the physical, where are you hosting it? Second, what you're connecting it to, the accounts, the tools, etc. And third, the ability for that traffic to get sniffed and intercepted. And then fourth, if you really love risk, you're adding it onto Moltbook, and God knows what's going to happen there. It's probably the biggest thing. If all of this sounds confusing to you, sit this one out. I'm all for people educating themselves and learning how to use AI safely. This one's risky. We're going to see a lot of horror stories, we already are, and it's going to get worse. And this one is totally fine just to watch from the sidelines. I bet that in a month or two, we're going to see a much more productized version of this, something that's a lot more professional, a lot more secure, something that's not going to leak your details or delete your system being released. And maybe a bit further down the line, a company like Google or Anthropic or maybe even Microsoft releasing a cleaner professional version of this. But right now, if this all sounds too complex, sit it out.